So, I'm going to wait just a little bit, see if anybody shows up. This is my very first official Cult Your Brand Periscope broadcast. Today I'm going to talk about neurochemistry, brain science, and marketing. But before we do that, let's all have some coffee together. Scott Adams calls it the simultaneous sip. I prefer to call it Java with Jack. So, grab your favorite hot beverage or cold beverage. By the way, I apologize to those of you watching this in a place that's terribly cold. This is what I get to enjoy during the times when you guys are miserable, because during the times when you guys feel fabulous, I'm combusting. So, the very first episode of Java with Jack. Cheers. Well, as it turns out, the old-time marketers have been right about a lot of things, even though they didn't know why they were right. Brain chemistry is kind of a weird thing. For a long time, brain scientists, psychologists, the people who studied these kind of things thought that you couldn't have positive emotions and negative emotions at the same time, because a negative emotion was simply the lack of something that a positive emotion was the existence of. As it turns out, research is finding out that the negative emotional systems are completely different neurochemical systems than the positive emotional systems. And in fact, there's two major positive systems that drive, two major neurochemical systems that drive our positive emotions. One is dopamine, the other is serotonin. So this has a lot of implications for those of us who are in the business of marketing and branding and most importantly, creating and keeping customers. Most importantly, what that means is that we don't have to worry about the existence of negative emotions in our target audience, whether those are prospects, customers, employees, members, or whatever, prospective lovers even. Because the negative emotional systems and the positive emotional systems can run side by side. Now remember, the old-time marketers who didn't know anything about neurochemistry talked about this model called PAS, P-A-S, Problem Amplification Solution. They talked, and what that meant is that you identified a problem that your customer or target audience was facing, and then you'd amplify it. As my mentor told me, you'd stomp on the pain location, make it worse, and then offer a solution. With the idea being that the stronger the pain, the more satisfying the solution would be. They're absolutely right, but there's a whole nother school of thought that says you can't create negative emotion in your audience because negative emotion offsets positive emotion. Well, that's actually not true. So what does that mean for those of us who are in the business? Well, it means don't worry at all about negative emotion. In fact, don't worry at all about amplifying negative emotion, and don't feel like you've got to make everything right for your customer in order for them to have those positive feelings. In fact, what's truly amazing when you're talking about not so much customer acquisition but customer retention, unsatisfied customers can still be the very best customers. The reason, again, goes back to our neurochemistry. These two different positive emotional systems I talked about, dopamine and serotonin, work very differently. When you perceive yourself as making progress toward a goal, it's dopamine that makes you feel good about that progress. When you have actually achieved that goal you set for yourself, the dopamine system turns off and the serotonin system kicks in. That's the thing that makes us feel satisfied. Oh, I feel good that I've achieved my goal. Now, that sounds good, except the problem is the effects of serotonin don't last very long. And you've probably noticed this yourself. You set a goal, you achieve the goal, and in very short order, that good feeling wears off, and you're ready for more. You become dissatisfied again. So as marketers, as folks in business, as folks trying to keep our customers loyal, one of the very best things we can do is allow our customers to continue to be dissatisfied. In fact, a satisfied customer is not very likely to talk about you in a positive or a negative sense, mostly because the satisfaction kind of makes us stupefied. It's that same feeling you get Very similar feeling you get after a great big meal. Oh gosh, you feel really good, you're full, but you're a little bit sleepy too. So don't worry about dissatisfaction in your target audience. A dissatisfied customer can still be happy as long as they see themselves making progress toward a goal. So when you're laying out a message for your customer, stomp on the dissatisfaction, amplify the dissatisfaction, and simultaneously let them know that they can be making progress toward their goal with whatever solution is available, preferably one that you're offering. So that's all I've got for today. Join me next time on Java with Jack. Until then, have a good time. I like the coffee.